Yusuf, Mike. I won't call you your Chinese name now because I will cut my name. You're welcome. The representative of Nigeria Customs Service, once I tried the PRO of Nigeria Customs Service, I called him day before yesterday. Said, I will be out of Abuja, but somebody will be here. So, Mr. Omajali, representative of the custom, you are welcome, sir. My own dear brother, Mr. Mohammed, when you see good things happening in Nigeria, there are some people that are Mr. Mohammed Suleiman is the president of the Society of Nigerian Artists. And another person I want to clap the MD of Sterling Bank. MD of Sterling Bank, day before yesterday, we spoke, said that this is a wonderful thing. I'm interested in it. And because of that, I will send somebody all the way from Lagos to come and represent me. And I was so happy today when I saw Mr. Wood representing the MD of Sterling Bank. You are welcome, sir. Mr. Wood, thank you for coming. Everybody here, you are all wonderfully respected. You are all important. The director of culture of FCT Secretariat, my own brother, Mr. Kayode, I can't forget to mention them. You are welcome, sir. Yes. Let me stand on other. Before that, Dr. Akpai. Dr. Akpai, I will not forget you. You are such a wonderful young man, doing well for the continent. Continue to do it. You are welcome, sir. Dr. Eseni, see you, I recognize you. You are welcome, sir. My own brother, Ajibusho Sharif, thank you for coming. Let me stand on other assisting protocol. I think we have an assisting protocol. Thank you. It was Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory that said, and I quote, "We have the wealth of our vast resources, the power of our people. Let us grab it now, the opportunity before us, and meet the challenges to our survival." Kwame Nkrumah of the blessed memory. Fellow Africans, I stand before you today with a message of hope. I'm proud and even prouder to be identified with our culture. Today marks the beginning of total emancipation from poverty and other crises, as we are here to change the narratives through the promotion of African culture and heritage. We have identified that the only antidote to poverty and other crises is culture. It will have a progressive effect on the continent in future if our culture is not promoted. Because when you're talking of culture, today you can talk of tourism, today you can talk of arts. In fact, in every sphere of life, culture is involved, if I'm not mistaken. It will have a progressive effect on the continent in future if our culture is not promoted. Hence, the idea of African Youth Leadership and Cultural Summit AYLCUS 2024. This is slated to come up between 21st and 25th of May 2024 in Nigeria. I'm standing here with a special message of hope for African youth. First of all, be proud of your heritage and cherish your African identity. You need to constantly remind yourself that African way of life is beautiful. We are blessed with beautiful culture, glittering from the most enviable continent of the world. Our beautiful culture can be found in the quality of our indigenous food, our music, our dance, fashion, entertainment, and others. Therefore, African youth must begin to see themselves as the most blessed people on the planet Earth, imbibe and promote our great culture, which is so unique. The whole idea of African Youth Leadership and Cultural Summit is to make unity as principle, as pinnacle of our sustainability. There's no other better time than this for Africans to unite. Let us unite to move our dear continent forward with better understanding that we are one Africans with common identity, common destiny. Africa is our home. We've got to do our best to make it the best place for our children. African youth should decolonize their mindsets and begin to accept Africa's current challenges as opportunity to transform the continent for future generations. Across other parts of the globe, young people are working assiduously to develop their countries, these as their ultimate priorities. It is time for you, African youth, to show such patriotic determination to contribute to the developmental agenda of our dear continent. However, the road to the promised land may not be that smooth. There's definitely going to be a whole lot of distractions. In spite of these challenges, you should not allow yourself to be manipulated in any of these circumstances. Let's take a journey together from Zanzibar to Uzo, Ashantiland, Ghana, from Soweto to the land of Pharaoh. You must see through the cloud. It is time to go back to your roots and realize the real beauty of Africa. But we all have a collective responsibility. Make sure that the African pride, which our forefathers bequeathed for us, is duly preserved for Africans yet on. On this special day, I challenge the African youth to be proud of Africa and boldly show off their African pride. You must resist any attempt which seeks to confuse your minds to feel inferior about your African identity. African Youth Leadership and Culture Summit. We look at it that most African youth don't even know their history. Because when we're in school, all what we are taught is about Charles Dickens, somebody to come and tell me that it was Landa brothers or that discovered Nigeria. Nigeria that has been in existence for decades, for years, for centuries. It's high time we speak with one voice because we believe that nobody can write our history for us. Nobody can dance our dance the way we dance it. Now, time for us as Africans to come together and unite. And when we are talking of unity, what it means is very strong. If we can unite today, we'll be the strongest continent in the world. We'll be the strongest, and that is why most Pan-Africanists, they are talking about Ubuntu, which is unity, and it's high time we all imbibe it. African Youth Leadership and Culture Summit is meant to bring young Africans together once in a year and let us talk about our culture. Let's talk about what binded us together so that they will not be telling you that it was Mungo Park that discovered River Niger. River Niger that has been in existence before great-grandfather of Mungo Park was born. So that is the essence of African Youth Leadership and Culture Summit. To the fourth estate of the realm, we're going to have a press conference at the end of this event, and we're going to talk more about modalities and what the conference, the summit, entails. We're going to tell the world to say that this conference is a yearly event. As we are doing it in Nigeria this year, by the grace of God, next year we are taking it to another African countries. And it's an avenue for young Nigerians to be part of this. It's an avenue we are calling on international organizations in Nigeria to be part of this. We are calling on corporate organizations in Nigeria. You can't run away from culture because even in your office, you need culture. If you are culturally inclined, nobody will steal a dime from government cover in Nigeria. And that is what we want to start instilling in the mindset of our young Africans. May God continue to be with us. Thank you, and God bless.
That was a wonderful speech. A round of applause for him one more time, please. That was a great presentation. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before moving into the entertainment department, I've just been told please permit me to welcome on stage the cultural attaché for Chinese Embassy in person of Mr. Lee, as it comes up on stage for his presentation. Okay, please.
Dr. Paper presentation.
So sorry about that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Before I proceed to the next agenda of the program, all protocols must be duly observed. Please permit me to recognize the presence of Mr. Ubok Insog, the Regional Business Executive Stellenberg. A round of applause for him, please. You're highly welcome, sir. Also, I'd love to recognize the Director of Sales Marketing, Ocean World, in person of, so sorry, I can't say the name, but the Director for Sales Marketing. Please, a round of applause for her. Oh, you are highly welcome. Thank you very much. Also, I'd love to recognize the presence of the President, Society of Nigeria Artists, in person of Mr. Mohammed Sulaiman. Thank you very much for coming, sir. You're highly welcome. Also, I'd love to recognize SCT. Please don't find me for the pronunciation of the name. Mr. Omajali, Custom Office, representing the Custom Director. You're highly welcome. Thank you very much. Also, I'd love to recognize the presence of the Vice Chairman of China Business Council, in person of Chief Yusuf. Chief Yusuf, please kindly stand up for recognition. You're highly welcome. Thank you very much. Also, the presence of Dr. James Komolafe, the DG Institute of Behavior Achievement of Nigeria, Cyber Resources Intervention, Jabi, Abuja. Dr. James Komolafe, you're highly welcome, sir. Thank you very much for coming. Also, we have the presence of the Director of Special Duties, in person of Dr. Taiwo Pamodiyele. Dr. Taiwo, you're highly welcome, sir. I know I have many fines I'll be paying, but please tamper justice with mercy. Thank you very much. I would love to recognize the presence of Madam Susan, the Lantern President. A round of applause for her, please. Thank you very much for coming. And also the presence of Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Cuba, in person of Mrs. Miriam Moraz Pamero. A round of applause for Her Excellency. You're highly welcome. Thank you very much, ma'am. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed, more names to be recognized. Please permit me to invite on stage Dr. James Komolafe as he comes up for his paper presentation. A round of applause for him. Before I hand over the mic to him, Dr. James Komolafe, PhD Behavioral Health, Registrar, CEO, Institute of Behavioral Alignment of Nigeria, brand consultant of organizations, former banker and institute administrator. He is a member of professional bodies such as NIPR, NIN, NITAD, among others. Certified cognitive behavioral therapist from Florida, fellow SABA and Leadership Institute, member behavioral health, academic chief consultant at the Cyber Resources, senior contributing professor to School of Politics, Resources, senior consultant professor to Nigeria Prize for Leadership, Legislative Member Mentorship Institute, and other private organizations, board member and senior consultant, and other private organizations. He has a training expertise consultant across private and public sectors over the decades, such as Ministry of Finance, Defense, Bureau of Public Enterprises, Ministry of Public Police Affairs, Federal Housing Authority, Federal Fire Service, Federal Mortgage Bank, among others. Dr. James Komolafe has created over 200 strategic leadership solutions and custom-made designs for private and corporate organizations, leads for education, evaluation, and intervention, setting the pace for agility in the 21st century for organizations across levels. He is a venture leader, strategic catalyst, navigating and taking instructions to prominence. He builds strategic operational frameworks across organizations, cutting private and public fora, superintended over team strategic network, strategic concept and content development through conferences, platform speaking, summits, and media. He is happily married to Madam Veronica and blessed with kids. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome with me Dr. James Komolafe, PhD, as he comes up on stage for his presentation.
Thank you so very much. I'd like to give honor to whom honor is due, to the Almighty God. And I say Happy New Year to everyone. Wish you the best of the year. Mr. President, the convener, my good friend, Honorable Quadri Kennedy, and your retinue of credible leadership, the various ambassadors, various countries that are here, and my new friend, the High Chief himself. Everyone in the house, directors from ministries, parastatals, and my indefatigable team from the School of Articulation and Behavioral Alignment Resources, everybody in the house, members of the press, the Fourth Estate of the Red, civil society organization, and everyone. It gives me a pleasure to be here to deliver this keynote address on the pivotal subject of youth leadership via culture, African Youth Leadership and Culture Summit at this point. Before I fire on, I would like to solicit the indulgence of my amiable team at Saba Resources to just come and join me for a slide demonstration. So all coaches and consultants from Saba Resources, can I have your privileged attention here? Please celebrate them as they come. Saba Resources is your one-stop behavioral hub for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We do education, intervention, prevention, evaluation from the non-drug therapeutic approaches. They are going to summarize all that I will speak now. Okay, anything we tell you to do, just especially for the fact that I have the microphone now. Once we can get this right, Mr. Convener's address is as good to go. Everything in the nations of the world is good to go. This conference is good to go. All the embassies and the envoys of various embassies, we have just little thing custom. We do not need to even do so much in order to achieve target and meet the deliverables. So watch us perform now. Can we all do our hand this way? Make sure you put a beautiful, radiant smile there. And somebody is saying, is doctor going to do yoga? Well, if you call it yoga, it's part of it. When I am good neck up, I will be great neck down. Then I will be great leg up. Let's go back again. Everybody, your hand this way. When I am good neck up, I will be good neck down. Then I will be great leg up. Can you stand up and try it? Who knows? Maybe we will be excellent running. Okay, sorry. If you can, please do your hand this way. And if we want you to take it back to your organizations, to your corporations, and everything. And for all the employees that are here, we already have automatic invitation to make you good neck up, so that you can be good neck down, and then you can be great leg forward. Thank you so very much. Please celebrate it as they go back to their seat. Now, that is what it takes. I'm going to run you through my few slides here and allude from there about this critical issue. How good am I? Neck up determines how great I am neck down, so that I can be great leg forward. What does that mean? It means I will never go the wrong order when my mind is going the right place, the right direction. These are the days emphasis on how I look. We just heard about culture and the rest of it, but suffice it to say and to know that many things are wrong in our society, not just Nigeria and the African clime, but in so many other climes, just because very many leaders and the led are not good neck up. So it's time to check up from the neck up so that we can be good neck down. How do we do it? We package to manage in order to avoid damage. So today, I'd like to show you a little fundamental framework here that we believe the young Africans will to borrow a leaf from as we reorganize, reorientate, and reestablish the fact of our culture. And on a very critical note, this is the time to profile our various frameworks. Without the framework, there can be no fireworks. I grew up from the village. In fact, I make bold to let you know it was studies that took me out of the village. Otherwise, possibly I would still have been a farmer, agrarian farmer in the village. And you see, when our mother wants to cook, we bring few woods together until those woods are arranged in order. There is not going to be introduction of the fire. And before you know it, before you say, Jack, just few woods, number of woods will cook your rice, heat your water, and all of the like, because the fire introduced to the wood was strategically introduced, not upon scattered, shattered woods, but upon arranged woods. So where you have the wood in place, the fire does not go out. So no framework except we have order, decency, and decorum. Enough of wearing the toga of culture just by talk. We want to see the work. Every sustainable framework, has a pedigree and its bedrock from an efficient framework. Please say with me, when it is not framed, the fire does not stay. What the framework we are building? How do we crush the inherent violation within our youths? These are the days where dynamism is just the keyword. How do we ensure that we get them good makeup, align their values and virtues together while crushing the element of their vices that they carry out through several devices? We hear of sudden collapses. We hear of one disaster here and there, suicide ideation, classified suicide, a banker taking her life just because she was not there to meet the target. Her mind was messed up according to her, and her brain clogged just because there was no checkup from the network. So each moment of our lives, we operate between the behavioral variable of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the time has come in critical leadership to not only seek to know what to do, but to also do what we know. And the gap, the living bridge, the linkage between knowing what to do and doing what we know is behavior. So on very many occasions, leaders know what to do. Can you say with me, on very many occasions? Leaders know what to do, but they hardly do what they know. If that is not happening in your organization, say, doctor, yes. If it is happening, say, doctor, yes, it is. Thank you. I have a witness in the house. Please celebrate yourself. Clap for yourself. Behind the finesse of policy statements and all of the deliveries and deliverables, how well do we do what we know, even when we know what to do? That's why in the short while I'm going to give you an assessment to check you up how neck up, so as to be sure you are good, neck down. Neck up knowledge. Good neck down application. We must begin to synchronize the science with the art so as to have the relevant manifestation and never a manipulation. So very vital. That's why we want to start from the place of culture. When I was much younger, I'm still young now, close to my 60s, still a young man. I used to think culture is people dancing, carrying masquerade, facing you all about, and all of that. Until I grew a little to discover that culture is not essentially how we dress, but what is dressing us. Culture is not essentially what we wear, but what is wearing us. Culture, can I go ahead? Is not essentially how we dance, but how our dancing steps is changing the narratives, redefining the quotient, and setting a brand new horizon to the world. So culture is critical to the renaissance and a new horizon for the African youth. Like I said, it's not what we wear, but what is wearing us in the dress. Now, let me put it before you. If somebody just suddenly bang into your office, and you are alone there in the office, gorgeously dressed, where does your eyes go to first? Who tells me what? Where? If you have an answer, raise your hand so that when you pass gallantly. You say the other one. Yes, madam, where does your eyes go to? Our own eyes goes to the feet. Okay, that's an idea where, as a trained professional, I train people that all your answers are correct. You are either correct by the front or by the back or down. Yes, because each time you are speaking from 3 dimensions. KSA. What is KSA? Somebody said King Sunny, you are speaking from knowledge, K, you are speaking from skill, and you are speaking from attitude. Yes, where will you check first? Yes, madam. What the person is wearing is your first point of call and attraction. That's a view. Can you see diversity in harmony inside Chinese hotel? Yes. Who's that face there? You are consultant, please. Okay, where will you check face? Esther, that's one of my train coaches there. Where will you check the face first? Somebody just walks into your office, gorgeously dressed. You don't know him or her from A. Yes. Expression. Yes, uncle. You want to know who first. So life is about who first, not what first. You can have good detailing, you can have good expression, you can have what looks like a pseudo solution or solution itself. You want to see the personality behind it before the productivity. I belong to that school that celebrates people first. Culture is about celebrating people. The leadership that celebrates the people is the right leadership. The leadership that puts the people in the front border, we always succeed. So very vital, please put people in the right place. Not about our dance, but what can we achieve through that dance? How will that rhythm of dance improve the Chinese in Nigeria, the Arabs? How will my dancing step bring out the potentialities and the values of other compatriots? So critical. It is not the game we play, but how we have utilized those games to project a background to become a blessing and not a bane. These are the days we sleep with maybe half eyes closed. Why? So many folks out there have some certain problems with some certain neuronautic knots in their brain. And so they needed check-up, neck up to be good neck down. And because nobody is doing that, they just throw caution to the wind to do just what they can find. We're saying, no, we are tired of that. It's not our potentialities, but how well we have turned them around for socioeconomic. Where is the answer? Behave. Now, who can spell for me? Behave. Let's go spelling it. B, E, H, A, E. What is that called? Now, how many words can you find in the word behave? Somebody says 6. Can you see? That's why there's APC, PDP, different ideologies. How many words? I didn't say letters. How many words? What are the two words? B and what? Which one comes first? B, followed by what? So, what is the first one? You B before you pronounce it. What thing you want to have before you B? Pronounce it. And you see how elderly people are misbehaving, even in this conference. That's why we have corruption. Attempt to make to have in order to be yourself. That's already a violation. You need to check from them in order to be good let down. So you must be first. Your embassy must be first. Your people must be first. In order to exercise their authority, their capacity, and their authenticity to discover what they have and utilize it. You have a young kid who is just 7 years old, and you say, Jane, the way I suffered, none of you, my children, will suffer. You are trying to communicate culture to that small girl, Jane. And Jane is just in the elementary 3, 8-year-old. Said, my great-grandfather never saw telephone. And said, nothing Android. You go and buy Jane iPhone 35. Because they want to spoil Jane. Then Jane carries iPhone 37 to school, only to discover that her teacher is using the one who hits 3 times and prays more before it answers. Now you are disincentivizing Jane. Jane will do comparative analysis and reconciliation and say, even my teacher is suffering. And all that Jane will hear is not what the teacher is saying, but what is being said by the teacher through his phone. And then Jane will not learn what she ought to learn. So stop incentivizing the bad and the ugly. Choose the good. Let them go through the strain. Let them go through the elementary rudiment of hardness. I didn't say suffering. Otherwise, a child, a boy of 10 years old is already growing breast. And by 8 a.m. in the morning, he sees the cockroach. The way he will shout and jump, you would think it was a serpent he saw. Why? Emotional reality is critical to the 21st century cultural orientation and balance. If we don't grow from